Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sahrul Alam. For this time, I will explain about the stabilizing and enforcing school weeks rules, procedure, and consequences. For the first, I will explain about the table of content. For the first, the function of rule at school, and then the function of consequences at school, and then the importance of procedure school. Let's go for the presentation. For the first, the function of the role at school. The school as an education institute publish official regulation and school and classroom regulation according to their respective circumstances, such as shared academy. According to global presentation, a prestation school statement, the purpose of regulation is to create a safe and a comfortable atmosphere in the school environment. In addition of the existence of the class and school rules also has a various benefit and function, especially for the student as a part of the school environment. Check out the more detailed explanation below. Function of the class, and school rules. Here are five function of class and school rules that every student needs to know. For the first, regulates student attitude and behavior. The function of the class, of the school, and the school rule is to regulate the student attitude and behavior, especially in the school environment. In addition, the application of classroom and school rules aim to create a safe and pleasant school environment when the learning and the teaching process take place. For the two, getting used to good behavior. The existence of regulation is also a good line for the good and positive behavior for students. So that a student are accustomed to various positive things such as honesty and discipline, which are also reflected in the application of student character building in everyday and life. And the three, a training soft skill and social skill. During social activities, as children interact and socialize with their friend, and maybe from say by say, and then word for word, and then you and friend given a motivation. This a social skill. The younger sibling and the parent, the teacher, and other staff in helping to set a positive attitudes and behavior, the rules that exist in school and the class aim to regulate how students socialize in the school environments. For the fourth, practice honesty and integrity. Another function of rules or regulation in school and classroom is to train a student to upload the value of honesty and integrity because these two things are important in the school environments. But when learning and when socializing with friends, for example, if a student is absent from school, he or she must present a permission, sleep or doctor certificate required by the regulation. And the last, the fifth, teaching and training responsible attitudes. Rules also teach and train children to be responsible. For example, um, rules should be stipulates that a student should complete assignment or homework given by the teacher and submit them at the specific time. This is about the time and the two the function of consequences at school or with the consequences given by the teacher. The student and the teacher can realize the extent of the student learning development. This is useful for how to continue in student learning, a process whether it's enough, less, and other. Stat the three are a treatment for of the consequences that can be used and change student behavior from the calling. Uh, if you witness a behavior that you like, rewrite its other words, accompany behavior or with the positive attention, E, and etc., something that is important and pleasing to the student. That's two, punishment or negative consequences. If you witness a behavior you dislike, mete out a punishment. In the other words, accompany the behavior with negative attention. That is something that displaces the student or take away from something positive. And the three, ignorance or no consequences. If you witness a behavior you don't like, ignore it. It is in that a quit a possible that the attention you are giving in the reason for the behavior. Therefore, do not accompany behavior or with negative or positive attention. Giving positive consequences or rewards is a very useful to student to continue the high motivation and when to continue learning. These positive consequences are able to provide the good mental encouragement and self-confidence because the student consider themselves capable of doing and achievement something. And then guidance and counseling principle. Guidance and service are provided in accordance with the human nature of the student with the further potential, the strength and weakness, and then a problem. Therefore, guidance and counseling in a school adhere to following principle. For the first, guidance is for individuals. This principle means to guidance counseling is given to all individual, both the problematic and non-problematic regards of the gender, age, ethnicity, regulation, religion, race, or social state. For the two, guidance is in the individualism. Each individual learning is unique. Guidance is a constant is private according to the uniqueness of each learner, although a service are provided in a class or group setting. The focus of the target of the assistances remain an individual. For the three, guidance emphasizes the positive. This a principle emphasis that guidance a service build a positive view of the individual toward the self, providing encouragement and opportunities for individual to development toward a better direction. And four, guidance is a carried out as a joint effort. Guidance as service are not only the duty and responsibility of the counseling teacher, but also responsibility of the subject teacher, and then principal as a teamwork involved in the implementation of the guidance and counseling program. For the five, guidance is a direct assist the education and making. Guidance and a counseling facilitates individual is developing the ability to make a judgment at just themselves. And the three, the importance of procedure in school. One of the function of the learning evaluation is to determine how to efficient and then effective the learning process is apart from the assessment carried out during effective the teaching and learning activities. We still need to evaluate student learning outcomes. Without the evaluation, it is difficult for the use to know the efficiency and effectiveness of the learning process. Let's recall the definition of learning evaluation. As smart teachers, it can be briefly understood that a learning evaluation is the measurement and comparison of final result with a learning objective. Thus, the evaluation of the student learning outcome is a source of data that we can use to find out whether the learning that has taken place has a success that in achieving the set goal or not. Based on the achievement of the this learning objective, we can plan the next lesson. More fully the objective of the learning evaluation according to Nana Sujana, it's his book, Assessment of the Teaching and Learning Procedure 2017 are for the first, describe the learning skill of the students so that they can acknowledge their strengths and weakness in the various field of the study or subject they can uh, they take. The two, knowing the success of the education and teaching process at the school, namely how far its effectiveness in changing the behavior of the student towards expected education goals. 3. Determining the follow-up of the assessment result, namely making improvement of education and the teaching program and implementation strategies. And the last one, provide accountability from the school to interest parties. In his book Learning Evaluation at 20 and 17, Zainal Arifin mentioned that's one of the function of the learning evaluation is summative. Summative tests can in-depth assess the student progress or the learning outcome in a particular subject. In addition, as summative, this asserts that the provider are reporting a material to the various party, especially to parent. I think enough for taking my presentation material uh, about the stabilizing and enforcing school with rules and procedure and consequences. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.